Hello again. Welcome to class 587. More paragraphs. These buildings are the same as those. Yeah, these buildings are the same as the ones behind me. Maybe we can change. Are you tired of these buildings? I'm tired of the buildings. Are you tired of the buildings? Marta's a little bit tired of the buildings. Maybe we can put something, I don't know, the Grand Canyon. Or maybe we can put Yellowstone Park, Yellowstone National Park. Or maybe we could put the Parque Nacional de Ordesa. Maybe. Or maybe we can put, I don't know, maybe we can put the Casa de Campo. Or maybe we can put, I don't know, give me some ideas. The Alamo. El famoso, la Batalla del Alamo. Back in 1836, Houston said to Travis, get some volunteers and go for to fight the Alamo. Well, the men came from Texas and from old Tennessee, and they joined up with Travis for to fight for their lives to be free. All right. This is an English class. Yes, and I'm not a professional singer. Okay, paragraph number 106. He was a great man. But, like all great men, he had his faults like all the rest of us. His biggest problem was drinking. Whenever he fell short of his expectations, whenever things fell short of his expectations, he became terribly depressed and spent months drinking cheap wine. By the time he reached 50, his liver was already giving him problems. All right. Pobre, no has entendido, aunque no. Algo de beber, aquí sí. But something about drinking. Wine. Cheap wine. Vino barato. All right, cheap wine. Okay. I like cheap wine. I like expensive wine too. I like both. Yeah. El vino de batalla, de diario. I like it. I like wine. Okay, but this man, he started drinking too much. And by the time he was 50, he was already starting to have liver problems. Liver problems. Do you have liver problems, Marta? No? I'm not sure if she has. Liver is hígado. Problemas de hígado. Liver. You don't have liver problems. Me neither. Neither do I. She doesn't have liver problems, and neither do I. She doesn't have liver problems, and I don't either. She doesn't have liver problems, and me neither. El me neither no es correcto gramaticalmente, pero es el 80% lo que se dice. Me neither. Or me neither, the British. All right, he was a great man. But like all great men, he had his faults like all the rest of us. Yeah, like all the rest of us. Rest of us? ¿Qué significa rest of us? Rest of us? Like all the rest of us? I don't understand, Richard. Like all the rest of us. ¿Qué es rest of us? Como todo el resto de nosotros. Like all the rest of us. He was a great man. Era un gran hombre. Pues estará muerto. He's probably dead. Fíjate, en español decís estará muerto, usando el futuro de verbo estar. Sin embargo, no es futuro, es probabilidad. Lo más probable es que esté muerto ya. Pero decís, y me gusta, estará muerto. En inglés, he will be dead. Significa mañana estará muerto. Y hoy no. All right. So if we say he's probably, él está probablemente muerto. Oh, that's what we say. He's probably dead. Yeah, he was but he was a great man. A great man. But like all great men and women, he had faults like all the rest of us. Nobody's perfect, except perhaps Marta. Are you perfect? Yeah, Marta's saying she's perfect. Are you really perfect? Okay. Me, I'm perfect. Somebody has to take on the responsibility of being perfect. It's not easy. It's not easy being perfect, but somebody has to do it. right? Alguien lo tiene que hacer. Ser perfecto. Somebody has to assume the tasks and the responsibilities. He was a great man, but like all great men, he had his faults. Faults, fauls. He had his defects. Grandes virtudes, grandes defectos a veces. ¿Eh? ¿A que sí? Yes. Yeah. But like all great men, he had his faults, like all the rest of us. His biggest problem was drinking. His biggest problem was drinking. La bebida o el beber. His biggest problem was drinking. Whenever things fell short of his expectations, esto tiene tela, esta expresión. To fall short, caer corto. To fall short, corto. To fall short means no llegar a sus expectativas. Siempre que las cosas quedaran cortos de sus expectativas, which means he wasn't 100% successful. He didn't succeed 100%. Whenever es siempre que. Siempre que las cosas, or whenever también means cuando quieras, whenever you want. Pero aquí es siempre que. Siempre que las cosas fallaron un poco, aunque fuera un poquito. Whenever things fell short, to fall, fell, fallen. Whenever things fell short of his expectations, ¿qué es lo que le pasa? He became terribly depressed. Pobrecito, deprimidito. He became terribly depressed and spent months drinking cheap wine. By the time he reached 60, yes. It's 5 minutes to 11. How much time do we have left, Marta? Let's see. 7 minutes, all right. So, by the time I finish this class, it will be 11:15. Well, 11:13. By the time I finish this class, it's 5 minutes to 11. So, by the time I finish this class, it will be, by the time, para cuando termine, o se termina la clase. By the time I finish the class, it will be 11:13. 13 minutes past 11, by the time. Y este señor, para cuando ya alcanzó los 50, by the time he reached, to reach, I can't reach it. Barely. I can barely reach it. Lo puedo alcanzar por los pelos. Barely. I can't reach it. I can barely reach it. Pero también es llegar a una cierta edad. Decimos mucho to reach. When I reach 100, by the time I reach 100, I think I will retire. But until then, I'm not planning to retire. So, by the time I get to Phoenix, by the time I reach 100. So, by the time he reached, pasado simple, by the time he reached 50, his liver, su hígado, his liver was already giving him problems. Yes, was already giving him problems. Liver. Do you like liver? Do you eat liver? Yeah? No? ¿No te gusta comer hígado? No? Oh, she said, no. Me neither. Neither do I. She doesn't like liver, and neither do I. However, my wife has an interesting story. My wife was brought up by her grandparents. And the grandmother was a very good woman, wonderful woman, a very good grandmother and mother, basically. And one day, every day, my grandmother-in-law took my wife, who was 7 years old, to the market to buy the different puestos de mercado. And my wife, when she was a little girl, she saw the liver. Liver's red, very pretty. And she says, I want that. And the grandmother says, no. Yes, I want that. And she said, no. But my wife, she was only 6 years old, but she insisted. And the grandmother said, okay, I'll buy it. Well, take it home and I'll cook it for you. For lunch, if you don't eat the liver, no dinner. You will go to bed without dinner. All right. So, but my wife said, yes, I want that. Because it's very attractive. It's red, very pretty. And so she took it home, cooked it, put it on. And my wife took one bite and says, I don't want it. And the grandmother said, you have to eat it. There's no dinner. And my wife went to bed without dinner that night. But she learned a lesson. When the grandmother says no, there's a reason. And so that's how we learn. We learn lessons through experience. We learn lessons through experience. He was a great man. Me pica la nariz. Vuelve loco. It's driving me crazy. She puts polvos. And then my nose itches because some of it gets up in my nose. There's dust flying around. Okay. He was a great man, but like all great men, he had his faults like all the rest of us. His biggest problem was drinking. Whenever things fell short, las cosas en general, whenever things fell short of his expectations, sus expectativas, lo que él preveía, lo que él quería conseguir. Whenever things fell short of his expectations, he became terribly depressed. Deprimido. ¿Sí? Depression. Depressed. Are you depressed? I'm not depressed. Are you depressed? Yeah. She's not depressed, and neither am I. She's not depressed, and neither am I. All right. But he became, whenever things fell short of his expectations, he became terribly, terribly depressed and spent months, pasaba meses el tipo, and spent months drinking cheap wine. By the time he reached 50, the age of 50, his liver was already giving him problems. So, my conclusion is probably this man died of liver problems, liver disease, cirrhosis of the liver. Se dice aquí cirrhosis, no? Probably cirrhosis of the liver. I don't know. That's my speculation, my conjecture. One more time, velocidad natural, at natural speed. He was a great man, but like all great men, he had his faults like all the rest of us. His biggest problem was drinking. Whenever things fell short of his expectations, he became terribly depressed and spent months drinking cheap wine. By the time he reached 50, his liver was already giving him problems. By the time he reached 50, his liver was already giving him problems. Okay, McKay. We finished one paragraph. One less. Paragraph 107. It's too bad you couldn't make it to the party. By the way, these paragraphs are for listening comprehension, not necessarily for speaking. If we continue after class number 600, I will bring 2 or 3 more books, and one of them will be for oral agility, to promote oral agility. Similar to this, but a different design. The type of sentence, shorter sentences, more elementary or basic English, but to gain agility. This is for listening comprehension. But nevertheless, I dissect each paragraph. Disecciono cada párrafo, porque me gusta. Because I like dissecting paragraphs. When I was 13, I dissected a frog. Una rana, ¿no? Tú también, ¿no? No? In biology, you didn't. Well, in biology class, I dissected a frog. Did you see the movie, I can't remember the name of it, by Steven Spielberg, donde viene E.T. Did you see E.T.? All right. You remember there's a moment the boy is in school and he has to dissect a frog. Well, every American boy and girl has dissected a frog. Yes. And despite that, I love frog legs. I love frog legs. Do you like frog legs? No? Have you tried them? They're delicious. Frog legs are delicious. Frog legs, yes. Very few restaurants serve frog legs. But if I see frog, I say, wow, frog legs. Always. Yeah. If you want to eat frog legs, you go to, the best places to go to Aranjuez, south of Madrid, and 1 or 2 or 3 restaurants. It's famous. 2 things are famous, or 3. I think the strawberries and frog legs. And they're good. Frog legs are good. All right. Paragraph 107. It's too bad you couldn't make it to the party. Everyone was there. Everyone was there. Even the gardener. I think Peter was the first one to pass out, and by midnight, most of us could hardly stay on our feet. I think everybody had a good time, but I doubt if many of them remember much about it. Whew. Yeah. Okay. What do we know? A party. You remember a party? What happened at the party? I don't know. All right. It's too bad you couldn't make it to the party. Everyone was there, even the gardener. I think Peter was the first one to pass out, and by midnight, most of us could hardly stay on our feet. I think everybody had a good time, and though I doubt if many of them remember much about it. I remember a little bit, but not everything. Yes. Okay. It's a party. A lot of people. All right. But the person who is listening didn't go to the party, because the person who's speaking says, it's too bad you couldn't make it to the party. It's too bad you couldn't make it to the party. It's too bad you couldn't make it to the party. ¿Qué significa eso? Lástima que no hayas podido ir a la fiesta. O que no pudieras ir a la fiesta. It's too bad you couldn't make it. La expresión make it es poder estar, poder hacer acto de presencia, poder llegar, poder presentarse. To make it. También es llegar físicamente. Después de una odisea. Wow, por fin we made it. Finally we made it to Barcelona. You know, I was planning only 6 hours. It took 10 hours. We had problems along the way. We finally made it around midnight. And here it says, it's too bad. It's too bad. There are 3 ways in English to say es una lástima. It's a pity. It's a shame. Shame también significa vergüenza, pero aquí no. It's a pity. It's a shame. Es una pena. Es una lástima. It's a shame or it's too bad. It's too bad. 90%. It's too bad. Sí, it's too bad. Literalmente significa ello es demasiado malo. It is too bad. Pero no significa eso. Significa es una lástima. Y luego para decir qué lástima, qué pena. We had said, oh, that's a pity. Oh, that's a shame. Oh, that's too bad. 90%. That's too bad. The others are perfect. Many Spanish people know it's a pity. Perfect. No problem. Use it. But if you spend time living among natives, they'll say it's too bad. Oh, that's too bad. I'm really sorry. Oh, qué pena. Sí, lo siento mucho. That's too bad. I'm really sorry. Y este dice, es lástima. Oh, es una lástima que no pudieras venir. O estar en la fiesta. It's too bad you couldn't make it to the party. It's too bad you couldn't make it to the party. It's too bad you couldn't make it to the party. Everyone was there. Everyone, hasta el jardinero. Everyone was there, even the gardener. Wow, the gardener was at the party. Yeah. Everyone was there. Everyone was there, even the gardener. Yes, Peter was the first one to pass out. Peter? What happened to Peter? He was the first one to pass out. To what? To pass out. To pass out. Yeah. Se quedó sin sentido. He drank too much. Como etílico. He drank too much. Peter was the first one to pass out. Yeah. And by midnight, By the time I finish, it will be 13 minutes by the time. But by midnight, ya para la medianoche, by midnight, most of us, the majority of us, most of us could hardly stay on our feet. To stay on your feet is mantenerse de pie. Most of us could hardly stay on our feet. I don't recommend this party, Marta. No. I don't recommend this party. But by midnight, well, Peter was the first one to pass out. Apparently a few others passed out. Peter was the first one to pass out, and by midnight, most of us could hardly, apenas manteniéndose pie, could hardly stay on our feet. I think everybody had a good time. Yeah. Todo el mundo, pienso que todo el mundo se lo pasó bien. I think everybody had a good time, but, well, I think everybody had a good time, though I doubt if many of them remember much about it. Yeah. They had a good time, but they don't remember. Yeah. Hey, thanks for the party, Richard. Yeah. Oh, well. Yeah, we had a good time. I don't remember, but I'm sure we had a good time. All right. So by midnight, most of us could hardly stay on our feet. Yes. I think everybody had a good time. Though, aunque, although, or though, or even though is más radical, though. I think everybody had a good time, though I doubt, aunque dudo, though I doubt if many of them remember much about it. Dudo que muchos de ellos recuerden mucho de lo que fue la fiesta. Though I doubt many of them remember much about it. It's too bad. Too bad you couldn't make it to the party. Hey, Jerry. It's too bad you couldn't make it you didn't come to the party. I didn't see you. It's too bad you couldn't make it to the party. Yeah. It's too bad you couldn't make it to the party. Everyone was there. Even the gardener. Everyone was there. Even the gardener. I think Peter was the first one to pass out. And by midnight, most of us could hardly stay on our feet. Yeah. I think everybody had a good time, though I doubt if many of them remember much about it. I think everybody had a good time, but though I doubt. En vez de though puedes insertar but I doubt, pero dudo, aunque dude. Though I doubt if many of them remember much about it. I remember everything because I was the host. It was in my house. Yeah. And Charlie, it's a pity you couldn't make it. It's a pity. It's too bad. It's a shame. It's a shame you couldn't make it to the party. It's a pity you couldn't make it to the party. It's a shame. It's too bad you couldn't make it to the party. Y se dice así, make it. It's too bad you couldn't be at the party. Is correct, but we don't say it. It's too bad you couldn't come to the party. Is perfectly correct, but we don't say it. Para poder estar en una fiesta, dice make it. No sé por qué, pero bueno, sí sé por qué. That's how we speak English. I'm sorry I couldn't make it. To make it means estar, presentarse, llegar, todo esto. All right. It's too bad you couldn't make it to the party. Everyone was there, even the gardener. I think Peter was the first one to pass out. To pass out is perder la conciencia, es quedar sin sentido. Yeah, to pass out. To faint is desmayarse. Lipotimia or something, to faint. Yeah. Have you ever fainted? No? Not when you were pregnant? When you're expecting? No? Oh, faint. Yeah. But to pass out is because of too much drinking, or to pass out can be pain, something very painful, and you pass out. To faint is your blood pressure falls. La tensión sanguínea. Your blood pressure falls, and you faint. To faint. Okay, well that's it. We still have time to start. Only to start. Learn to speak up, page 106, list 18. All right. ¿La conoces? Do you know her? Do you know her? Te pregunté si la conocías. I asked you if you knew her. ¿Qué me has? What did you ask me? I asked you if you knew her. Her, yeah, Jennifer. Do you know her? ¿Cómo? I asked you. Te pregunté. I asked you. Asked you. Asked you. I asked you if you knew her. Me estoy muriendo. Me muero. I'm dying. I'm dying. Oh. Yeah, because my nose itches so much. I'm dying. I'm dying. Nos dijo que se estaba muriendo. He told us he was dying. Yeah, nah. The only problem is his nose itches. He's not dying. And it's Marta's fault. I'm dying. I'm dying. Me muero por verte. Se dice así. I'm dying to see you. Me muero por terminar esta clase. I'm dying to finish this class. So I can take off this makeup. I'll see you tomorrow.